No, man, come on.
Hey guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. We're back. I'm Shane.
I'm Tom.
We're back with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
This is it.
Yeah, Tom. So if you guys have been watching this for a while, if you've been following me since my days of Blind Wave, I love Harry Potter. Never knew it when I was a kid. I just thought it was stupid. Some stupid kid with glasses flying around in a broom. Thought he was a dork. I like Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and Dragon Ball Z, and that was my shit. Amen. I was very wrong. I made a deal. Yeah, I made a deal with Eric that if I read them, he would play Mass Effect. And he didn't. For 10 years. He tricked me. Fooled me. But I'm glad. It was one of the best things he ever got me in.
That was a win-win for him, too, because Mass Effect is a great series.
The best trilogy ever, in my opinion. So I'd read a book, and then we'd watch a movie that night when I finished it. I read the first book in a day, and he came that night, and we watched it. And I think I read the second one in a day. He came back that night, and we watched it. And then it took a lot longer to read the next few.
Right.
And then, I was done pretty much, I think. I saw part 1 in theaters. Because, that's right before part 1 came out when we all did this. And part 2, which we are about to watch, I had to wait for that to come out. I think it was 6 months or something like that. But, we're left off in kind of a sad place, Tom.
Yeah, there's a body count that's starting to kind of rise. And that was one of the most surprising things to me with part 1. Characters just kind of starting to die off.
Yeah.
And to fill everyone in, the way that our filming works, it's been months since we watched part 1.
Yeah.
And for those who have kind of been going on the journey with us, I believe I'm through the first 3 books now, so I'm not caught up on the books.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of information to take in. There was some stuff, to be completely honest, that it kind of slipped my mind a little bit because we're filming a bunch of other stuff right now too.
Yeah.
So we did spend some time prior to this pre-talk kind of talking, even on the drive to the studio here, just kind of going over some things.
Yeah, we did. We started these well over a year ago.
Way over a year ago.
Was it 2 years?
It might have been 2 years because if you go back and look, even on
I'm thinner, that's for sure.
Even on our Instagram, my hair is considerably shorter too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it has been 2 years. As a matter of fact, I think we did the first Harry Potter in the first month or 2 of me joining the channel, which was 2 years ago.
That's pretty crazy. And I remember I knew you would like it, but I wasn't sure if you'd be able to get past that first one. But you really did like the first one.
Yeah, I did. I've liked them all for different reasons, some more than others. The thing that I like the most is the friendship and the relationship that Ron, Hermione, and Harry have had. And I know things are... I get DMs quite a bit about the movies that we're reacting to, and a lot of people are like, hey, listen, you gotta... At some point, you gotta go through and finish the books. Some things are left out, just for time reasons, production reasons.
Yeah, the books are better in every way, but to me, the characters that I see in the books are definitely these actors. I love these movies.
Yeah.
To me, the only way you made these movies better is to make them much longer, because I think they condense all the important stuff. I like the acting. I love the actors who are playing it. I love Voldemort. Snape, to me, is irreplaceable.
Snape's my favorite
because
character.
we're going to have to react to the show.
Yeah.
When that comes out, it might be a couple years. But wouldn't Adam Driver be a great Snape?
I could see that.
The way he talks like that. Imagine that kind of like a version of his Kylo Ren performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got the look. He's tall. He's dark hair. He's kind of got the nose a little bit. You know what I mean? I think Adam Driver would be great.
Snape right now is still my favorite character, even though I'm, for obvious reasons, kind of upset with him right now. And
how'd you feel about that?
I was demoralized, and I keep holding against hope that there's something that I'm missing or that I don't already know about. You didn't have a lot.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of him in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
to redeem himself. You know what I mean?
Is there redemption from? I mean, think of everything he's done.
Yeah, he's never been We've learned more over the last couple movies about a little bit more of his backstory, but I'm just sitting here wondering if there's a way.
He's got a bone to pick with the Potters for a while.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Because of Harry's dad and everything going, way back. But I'm trying to think of a way where this can be made right. And
we killed Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He, the number one thing you didn't want to do when Dumbledore trusted him. But Also, look back. Do you remember in The Prisoner of Azkaban when they went to the Weeping Willow and Remus turned into a werewolf?
Yes.
What was Snape's first reaction to do? He put himself in between him and the kids. So is there something there? Like, why would he do that? Did something change?
Well,
Like, you know what I mean?
here's the thing. Good people do bad things, bad people do good things. And I don't want to call him a bad person. I mean, the Dumbledore thing kind of puts a little wrench in that thing.
Well,
but
I mean, he was sitting at that table
yeah.
with everyone else, and, you know, he allowed, what's her name, to die and get eaten by a snake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's just that there's just been so many, like, what I like about this series as a whole, there have been so many great characters who have done such a good job in their specific roles. Even like Bellatrix, for example.
Yeah.
I think she's fantastic.
Bellatrix is great. I mean, that
She's
actress is fantastic.
Yeah, she's beautiful and just has this, like...
Well, she makes, like, that... I mean, I know they're going for that dark, like, that sexy, murderous...
She's perfect for it.
Yeah, and she's fantastic, yeah.
You know, even in the last movie when she's kind of torturing Hermione there at
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm still like, it's messed up, but I
like her. I can't help it.
still enjoy the character. I can't help
That's why
it.
you've got in trouble in your life with women, Tom.
Yeah.
You've gone for chicks like that. Let me ask you a couple questions. So, Xenophilius, remember him, right?
Yeah, he is Luna's dad.
Luna's dad. We had that, played by Rhys Ifans, who's giving... I cannot wait till we go through House of the Dragon. He actually is performing in that as a really great character.
And he kind of, I don't want to say sold out Ron, Harry, and Hermione, because I get why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
It's like, what would you do to save your kid? You'd probably do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
so...
even if it meant, like... Yeah, something like
like
that.
setting a trap for these
For like people
three
you love.
teenagers.
Yeah, for like people you care about. You know what I mean? You sell out, you know. He was put in an awful situation.
Although he does tell the kids a story, the backstory behind the Deathly Hallows and about the three items that are needed.
Yeah, there's three of them. And when you read the book, it's just all this exposition, and it's like, well, how are they going to tell that in a movie? And I think they did a great job.
Yeah. I've not got to that point in the books yet.
Yeah, it's in the last book. So do you remember what they are?
So we've got Gryffindor's sword, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the one that Harry finds out in the woods.
I'll tell you one thing right now. That's not one of the Deathly Hallows. Think again real quick.
Okay,
Think of the symbol. I know you know some. I know you know some of them because we talked about them in the last video. So you mentioned Godric Gryffindor's sword, and there's Ravenclaw has a cup. I mean, they all have things in the houses that are kind of important, but those aren't the Deathly Hallows. Okay, what did Voldemort get in the very end?
The wand.
Okay, that's one.
Then there's the invisible cloak, which we know Harry already has.
That's two.
And is a stone the third?
Yes. What kind of life over death? That was made by this guy. It doesn't go into in the movie, but it was made by this guy that he was friends with Dumbledore, and he's like an alchemist. And this guy in the book was like hundreds of years old, and him and his wife were. They just decided they're going to stop using it, and they're going to die one day.
Okay. Gryffindor's sword is what Ron used to destroy the Horcrux.
Yeah.
That Harry found out in the woods after seeing that deer.
Yeah, very good. So what was that deer? What did it look like?
It was a white doe.
Okay, do you remember?
Which is used as a sign for people. I don't remember the name of what that's called though.
Okay. Lupin taught Harry this to ward off Dementors. Do you remember what it's called?
Starts with a P. But
well, Patreon, go there right now. Let's jump in. No, I'm just kidding. That would be such a good way to do it, wouldn't it?
Patronus.
Yeah, it's a Patronus. The object that you conjure is a Patronus.
Okay.
The spell is Expecto Patronum. Yeah. So it kind of looked like a Patronus, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the sword doing there?
Well, it was from Regulus.
So you're mixing them up. So Regulus was the brother of Sirius. He's the one that actually had, and he's the one who actually had the locket and stole it. So the
that
locket,
sold it to
Garfungus or Marfungus, whatever his name is, Garfunkel. That shitty little short guy he didn't want to be there in the beginning to protect Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he stole it, and then yeah. Back to the sword real quick. Do you remember what Bellatrix, when she saw the sword from the Snatchers? Like, first of all, how do you become a Snatcher? You know? So the Snatchers took Harry to the Malfoy Manor, the Malfoy estate.
Yeah, but wasn't that the object that was supposed to be at the estate?
No, it was supposed to be in her
In
sword
the safe or something?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Gringotts. The
vault?
The vault. It's supposed to be in the vault. She got pissed. So the sword wasn't in the vault. That's what she saw the sword. It wasn't in her vault. So she was pissed about that. That's why she was so angry.
Yeah.
Because something got in her vault and got the sword, supposedly. Yeah, so you were talking about Regulus. Regulus is Sirius's brother.
Right.
Stole the locket.
And he's the one who, when the kids had, they keep seeing RGB,
Yeah.
and it took them a while to figure out who that was.
Yeah. That's a creature's master, or first master.
But
Creature served the Black household.
yeah, and he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he's kind of he's presented as like this old kind of racist, I think that's the parallel in this world.
How did, one question that I did have, how did Regulus die? That's something I'm kind of confused, or maybe I'm not confused, I just do.
Yeah, so.
Do I know that yet?
You don't know it.
Okay.
I can't remember how clear it is in the book, but what happened was he went to the cave that Harry and Dumbledore went into in the Half-Blood Prince. He stole the locket. He went there, but he couldn't apparate out, and he was stuck. So he drank from the cup of that poison shit that makes you go crazy, and he knew he couldn't get out, so he told Creature to apparate out of there and destroy it. That was his last wish. And then the fucking zombie Inferi, I think they're called Inferi, they dragged him under the water and he died that way.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's awful. Awful way to die.
That's one of the top 5 worst ways I can think of to die.
Dragged in the water and drowned by zombies.
Yeah.
That'd be awful too, yeah.
Why did he
betray Voldemort?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to ask.
So I don't remember. It's not super clear.
Is that talked about in the books? Because if this is stuff that's talked about in the books, I'm trying to debate.
Well, I'll give you.
Because is it a spoiler?
No, I mean it's not super clear from what I remember. I think he just kind of started to see, when you're young and you're in school and you kind of these young kids, they kind of become radicalized into these movements of different ideologies, and then you're out there in the streets and you actually see these Nazis killing people. You go, shit, maybe this isn't for me. Right. I think Regulus kind of realized, okay, I'm not a Death Eater. I'm just a little racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like my uncle. He ain't a Nazi. He's just a little racist. It's kind of like whatever, right?
Right.
So I think that, I heard someone say, maybe it was Eric, I can't remember. Someone told me that maybe it was simply the fact that Voldemort was figuring out how to be immortal and he wasn't sharing that information. I prefer to lean on the former. Like the idea there's some good in him. That he realized, just like Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, I know it's not Tom Cruise, it's based off a real character in German history, realized, okay, we need to assassinate Hitler. This is not what we want. We don't want genocide.
Right.
So I think maybe that's what Regulus was coming to that conclusion. Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And one of the things that we talked about before we started filming this morning was a comparison that I had between the mental hold that the Horcrux has over the mind, and how kind of that parallel between that and kind of the Lord of the Rings with the ring.
Yeah, so to make that claim, I think we'd have to ask ourselves, well, did that kind of literary device originate with the ring and with Tolkien, or was that borrowed? And if it was borrowed, then you can say that literary device doesn't belong to anyone, but maybe you're making the comparison because you're very familiar with Lord of the Rings. I would say it works in the show, even if they did lift it from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Or it works in the book, I should say, because it's established in Chamber of Secrets that, hey, this journal was doing everything it could to protect itself from getting destroyed from Harry. And remember, they used the sword then, to stab the book. Well, no, they used a basilisk fang to stab the book. And the sword now has basilisk venom infused into it. Remember?
Yep.
So I think it works at, what are Horcruxes? Remember what they are?
Yeah, they're items or objects that hold pieces of someone's soul.
Pieces of a soul. So yeah. I think it stands to reason that there is a will and an agency and a will with all these objects.
One of the questions that I asked you like a week ago when I wasn't even here, I was just literally sitting here thinking about Harry Potter, and I was like, if Horcruxes can hold pieces of souls, so one day that person can potentially be regenerated, so to speak, is that a possibility with Dumbledore?
Okay, so on that theory, I like that theory actually quite a bit. Now, I don't want to say it's wrong or not wrong, because you're actually thinking pretty well here. But how are Horcruxes created? What do you have to do? Do you remember Slughorn from Half-Blood Prince?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember why they wanted him to come back to Hogwarts? And he kept telling him no?
Yeah, because he retained some of those memories of Voldemort from the past when he was inquiring about Horcruxes and how they were made.
Yeah. So do you remember they kept looking at his memory and it was incomplete?
Yeah.
So he wanted Harry to access a real memory by getting close to him so he could be collected, just like all the other kids were collected over the years. He became his favorite, which to me is, I think it's, everyone talks about the teacher's pet. I don't think it's a good thing. I think you should treat everyone equally. It should be merit. I'm very sure with a young Tom Riddle, he had a lot of merit. But do you remember the one thing he said you had to do? Yeah, you had to kill someone. That process of killing someone was one of the things you needed to do to create a Horcrux. So, remember he was like, what if you wanted to create multiple Horcruxes, you have to kill multiple people, because creating a Horcrux is against murder is against the very nature. And because it's against our very nature, it's like the most heinous thing you can do. Now, if you watch that reaction, I was arguing like, well, I mean, we've been killing each other ever since our inception. Ever since we had consciousness, we've been killing each other. Even our old religious texts about our origin story had us killing each other.
Right.
So I never liked that idea. Like, murder. Like, hell, if you go back hundreds of years, murder was like very common. So that was my only thing, was I understand murder's bad, but to say it's against our, kind of against like the proper way of things, I don't think it's a good way to say it.
I see what you're
so,
saying.
I mean, Dumbledore, to have a Horcrux, it would require him to kill someone. Now, how did he get the Wizarding Wand, the Elder Wand? You don't know that. But he got it because during the first Wizarding War, he took out, what's his name? Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's character. They took him out, though. They screwed him. Amber Heard screwed him. Grindelwald. Yeah. Grindelwald. Okay, so Grindelwald, it was like his friend growing up. There was a first Wizarding War before Voldemort, and Grindelwald was, he had the Elder Wand. Maybe that's a clue right there. Okay? Maybe not. Anyways, this is a long pre-talk, but this is our last movie. I think we are going to go through the Fantastic Beasts series. I haven't seen the last one. I didn't want to because Johnny Depp wasn't the guy, but I did hear it was good, so I do want to give it a chance. Honestly, in my opinion, they're not quite as good as these movies anyways. But guys, before we jump in, if you want to support this channel, you can actually see the entire, 2-hour reaction uncut on our Patreon for all the things that we do, actually. And we also have early access. So you guys ready to jump in for the last time?
Let's do it.
All right. The bastardization of this wonderful place.
Those things creep me out, man.
We need to play Legacy of Hogwarts. We need to do a stream. We need to do a stream in general. But
Snoop.
There's no guardrail on that thing.
Yeah. Poor Dobby. He deserved better.
I think that makes me emotional, like a free elf. The idea of it,
Yeah.
That would be important to him. I think Bill owns this cottage. Him and his wife.
It's beautiful here.
It was our aunt's. We used to come here as kids. The Order uses it now as a safe house. What's left of us, at least.
I love
Muggles
Luna.
think these keep evil away.
It's Warwick Davis, if you couldn't tell.
Probably don't remember that you...
That I showed you to your vault the first time you came to Gringotts? Even amongst goblins, you're famous, Harry Potter. You buried the elf.
Yes.
Very unusual, is it? How did you come by this sword?
It's complicated. Why did Bellatrix Lestrange think it should be in her vault at Gringotts?
It's complicated.
The sword presented itself to us in a moment of need. We didn't steal it.
There is a sword in Madame Lestrange's vault, identical to this one, but it is a fake.
And she never suspected it was a fake.
The replica is very convincing. Only a goblin would recognize that this is the true sword of Gryffindor.
Only
Who's
a
the
goblin.
acquaintance?
A Hogwarts professor. As I understand it, he's now headmaster.
Snape, he put a fake sword in Bellatrix's vault. Why?
He's very good acting with that makeup on.
I need to get into Gringotts.
This is impossible.
Alone, yes, but with you, no.
Why should I help you?
I have gold.
I've no interest in gold.
Then what?
That is my price.
I bet you anything there's a Horcrux in there, another piece of his soul. Let's find it, kill it, and then we're one step closer to killing him. I need to ask you a few questions.
Anything, my boy, anything.
Would you mind identifying this wand?
Walnut,
It's a good wood, man. Isn't it?
It's a fine wood.
Fine wood.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Unyielding. I love it.
10 inches. Reasonably pliant. This was the wand of Draco Malfoy.
Is he not still?
Well, perhaps not. If you won it from him, I sense his allegiance has changed.
You talk about wands as if they have feelings, can think.
The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter.
Yep.
And what do you know about the Deathly Hallows?
It is rumored there are 3. Together, they make one the master of death.
Do you believe they exist, sir?
Well,
You know one exists. You told him about it. You told him about the Elder Wand.
Remember he was
And
seeing it through Voldemort?
if it's true what you say, and he has the Elder Wand, I'm afraid you really don't stand a chance.
well, I suppose I'll have to kill him before he finds me then.
Oh, that's right, HP.
Good old Polyjuice potion.
Yep.
Well, how do I look?
Hideous.
Wouldn't say that. Ron looks great like this.
Yeah.
He looks like really badass like that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Bellatrix Lestrange, not some dewy-eyed schoolgirl.
Yeah, Ron does look kind of cool.
Yeah, he looks like a badass, dude. They have a really good aesthetic for these movies that have transcended for a long time.
Do you think that's his real beard and hair?
No, I don't think, unless they let him grow it out for this movie. They filmed this stuff first and then
Right.
they cut it after, but...
I wish to enter my vault.
Identification?
I hardly think that would be necessary.
Madame Lestrange.
I don't like to be kept waiting.
I know she's an imposter. I've been warned.
Harry. What do we do, Harry?
Would you mind presenting your wand?
And why should I do that?
It's the bank's policy. I'm sure you understand. I must insist.
Look at these shots. They're just...
They're great, man.
Very well, Madame Lestrange. If you will follow me.
What's great is she's so good at, I believe that's Hermione.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is great acting. Dude, I'd be puking.
Oh, yeah, I'd be puking all over the fucking place. I wonder if there's some wizard version of Dramamine that's like way better.
DK's minecart.
Good lord. Got some cleavage there.
Oh no, you look like you again.
The thief's downfall washes away all enchantments.
Is there any other way out of here?
No.
What the devil are all you doing down here? Thieves up the
Imperia!
keys, you...
Yeah.
What is that?
Just a charm.
That doesn't sound good.
Thing about Ron, he didn't look like... He just still looked like Ron. He just looked like he had a beard and stuff.
Been trained to expect pain when it hears the noise.
That's barbaric.
Alright, Ron. Just keep doing it.
Lumos.
Accio Horcrux.
You seriously not trying that one again, are you?
Magic won't work in here.
Is it in here, Harry?
That's it.
Up there.
They've added the Gemino curse. Everything you touch will multiply.
Give it
We had a deal, Griphook.
The cup to the sword!
I said I'd get you in. I didn't say anything about getting you out.
That little weasel. I would find him and kill him.
Gotta kill him in front of his family then. Yeah, I just do all kinds of shit to him, I'm telling you right now. I kill his family, then kill him.
That's an interesting little curse there.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
We've got an idea.
It's not a brilliant one.
We've got something, but it's mad.
What? Screw that.
Griphook looks way different than some of these other goblins.
Yeah. They're all ugly.
You know, some just look like, you know, little people, like little dwarves, or I don't know what the proper.
They're ugly as sin. Look at them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ugly as shit right there.
I hope the Griphook gave you the right cup.
No.
This is not good.
Projector!
When was the last time it even flew, you
I
know?
was thinking that too, yeah.
Yeah, just... I do like this song, actually.
I don't like heights.
I've always thought about what would I need to do to be encouraged to do this. It would be definitely impending death, you know? But when you're on that thing flying for a while, you're like, oh fuck, man, how am I going to get out of this motherfucking thing? You know what I mean?
I say we jump!
When?
Now!
He knows. You know who. He knows what we took, and he knows we're hunting Horcruxes.
You let him in. Harry, you can't do that.
Hermione, I can't always help it. One of them's at Hogwarts.
What? We've got to plan. We've got to figure it out.
Hermione, when have any of our plans ever actually worked? We plan, we get there, all hell breaks loose. There's something wrong with him. It's like, you know, in the past, I've always been able to follow his thoughts. And now everything just feels disconnected. He's wounded. If anything, he feels more dangerous.
Just went there and just killed everyone. Well, Griphook, You got his.
Yeah, he did. Screw him.
Yeah. Maybe you don't operate into there. I don't know.
Jafar.
Yeah. Faster!
In here, Potter.
Did you get a look at him? For a second I thought it was...
I know. Dumbledore. Harry. I can see you in this.
Bloody fools. What were you thinking coming here? Have you any idea how dangerous it is?
You're Aberforth. It's you who I've been seeing in here. You're the one who sent Dobby.
Where have you left him?
He's dead.
Sorry to hear it. I like that, Elf. The order's finished. Anyone who says otherwise is kidding themselves. Do yourself a favor, boy. Go home. Live a little longer.
Dumbledore trusted me to see this through.
What makes you think you can trust him? What makes you think you can believe anything my brother told you? In all the time you knew him, did he ever mention my name?
I trusted him.
That's a boy's answer. A boy who goes chasing Horcruxes on the word of a man who wouldn't even tell him where to start. You're lying!
I'm not interested in what happened between you and your brother. I don't care that you've given up. I trusted the man I knew. We need to get into the castle tonight.
Those moving pictures creep me out.
That's your sister Ariana, isn't it?
My brother sacrificed many things, Mr. Potter, on his journey to find power, including Marietta. He gave her everything. But time.
Yeah.
I kind of like him.
You do.
Who's that with her?
Sounds like the ring.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it. It's exactly what it reminds me of. You're right.
Look, you know, like hell, I reckon. This is nothing.
Don't remember this on our orders, Matt.
That's because it never existed till now. This is the only way in or out now. The grounds are crawling with Death Eaters and Dementors. Today's dark arts lessons had us practicing the Cruciatus curse on first years. I refused.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's...
Figured they'd be able to sense you if you're like...
I was thinking the same thing, even going through the tunnel and everything.
It's like, I played, obviously, Hogwarts Legacy a bit. It's a long-ass walk to get from there. It's like miles.
Brought you a surprise.
Not more of Aberforth. It's cooking, I hope.
Flying.
Remember that kid, that prick? He was like hitting on Hermione, I think.
Yeah.
We have a new weather report. Lightning has struck. I repeat, lightning has struck. What's the plan, Harry? There's something we need to find. Something hidden here in the castle. What is it? We don't know. Where is it? We don't know that either. I realise it's not much to go on.
That's nothing to go on.
Anyone any ideas?
Come on, Luna.
Well, there's Rowena Ravenclaw's last diadem.
Oh, bloody hell, here we go.
There isn't a person alive today who's seen it. Harry.
Hi there. 6 months you haven't seen me, and it's like I'm Frankie first year. Only a brother.
Snape knows. He knows that Harry was spotted in Hogsmeade.
Marching, you know, like Nazis.
They're all going there voluntarily.
That guy's head reminds me of Littlefinger. Imagine Littlefinger would be here as a Death Eater, you know? No, the school becomes mandatory during, like, because he wants everyone to become wizards.
You are surely wondering why I have summoned you at this hour. Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade. Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter, they will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore, any person found to have knowledge of these events who fails to come forward equally guilty.
It seems, despite your exhaustive defensive strategies, you still have a bit of a security problem, Headmaster. I'm afraid it's quite extensive. How dare you stand where he stood? Tell them how you looked him in the eye and killed him!
Ooh. Dude, that was sweet.
Just took his shit off real quick. Why'd he keep it on?
I know that many of you will want to fight, but this is folly. Give me Harry Potter. 1 hour.
Someone grab him!
To be out of bed, you blithering idiot.
Oh. Exactly where is it I'll be leading them to, Mom?
The dungeons would do.
Good. Good.
Do what you have to do. I'll secure the castle.
Dude, McGonagall's not to be trifled with.
She's not, yeah.
You destroyed Tom Riddle's diary with the basilisk fang, right? Well, me and Hermione think we know where we might find one.
Where are you going?
Ravenclaw common room. Gotta start somewhere.
I knew they were gonna split up. I knew they were.
You're actually giving us permission to do this?
That is correct, Longbottom.
We can't keep up you-know-who indefinitely.
That doesn't mean we can't delay him. And his name is Voldemort. Sirius, you might as well use it. He's going to try to kill you either way. Pier totum locomotor!
Dude!
I know.
Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries. Protect us. Do your duty. I've always wanted to use them.
I need to talk to you.
I'm a bit preoccupied at the moment.
You won't find anything where you're going. You're wasting your time. Harry Potter, you listen to me right now. There's not a person alive who's seen it. It's obvious, isn't it? We have to talk to someone who's dead.
Aren't you coming?
No.
Oh,
I think it's best if you two talk alone.
haven't seen her for a while.
Yeah. Well,
If it's who I think it is. Oh, no, it's
Nope.
not.
Nope.
The ghost of Ravenclaw Tower.
I do not answer to that name.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Helena, isn't it? Helena Ravenclaw.
You seek my mother's diadem.
Yes.
I cannot help you.
I want to destroy it.
Look at.
I know.
Such a pity. Shouldn't we wait? Begin.
You want it destroyed?
Another swore to destroy it many years ago. A strange boy with a strange name.
He's lied to many people.
I know what he's done. I know who he is. He defiled it with dark magic.
She creeps me out.
Yeah, she's a angry spirit, you know?
You just have to tell me.
You remind me of him a bit. It's here, in the castle. In the place where everything is hidden.
Thank you.
It is the quality of one's convictions that determines success, not the number of followers.
Who said that?
Me.
You okay, Freddy? Yeah. Me too.
Harry talks in his sleep.
terrible thing right there.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude.
Look at the snatchers, man.
Yeah? You and who's army?
He's just a funny snatcher, isn't he?
Run.
Yep.
Finally.
Things happen in the chamber, man. Yep. They need to keep producing the spell.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
I think that's what they're trying to do, but it just... I like his snatcher outfit. I think I'd be a good snatcher. You know, center. Chase people down. Attack on them. We got him. We snatched him. You know? He's just a funny guy. Alright, we're good.
That is a lot. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to be really upset, dude.
Giants. Yeah.
It's like the Helm's Deep battle. Oh, nice.
Nice place, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, that's sweet.
You ever see Luna, have you? I'm mad for her. I think it's about time I told her since we'll probably both be dead by now.
Drink it.
Maybe he's gone to the room of requirement. Doesn't show up on alone, does it? You said that last year.
That's right, I did.
Let's go.
Brilliant.
I think because she's like older, she's looking mighty fine in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff, Shane.
Yeah. Remember those things?
Yep.
I think I'd just be very overwhelmed like right when I got there, you know?
Well. What brings you here, Potter? You have something of mine. I'd like it back.
Well, what's wrong with the one you have?
It's my mother's. Not the same. Doesn't quite understand me. Know what I mean?
Why didn't you tell her? Bellatrix.
Hmm.
You knew it was me.
Easy.
Vada Kedavra, killing curse.
There's my goat, Bridget! I'll set the bloody place on fire!
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Goyle.
Oh, nice.
Fucking dead.
Dead.
We can't leave them! He's joking, right?
Did you leave him?
No, especially not Malfoy, because he's shown like there's something within him that where it would benefit him the most to kill me, it would cure him of a lot of problems to kill me. He chose not to. You had to feel his shit just dropping like flies, you know?
Yeah.
My lord. I need to keep you safe.
It's the snake. And she's the last one.
Oh, great.
My lord. Might it be less, might it not be more prudent to call off this attack? Simply seek the boy yourself.
I do not need to seek the boy. He will come to me. Do you understand? Look at me. How can you live with yourself, Lucius? I don't know. Go and find Severus.
Lucius is looking a little rough.
Yeah, he's been looking rough past couple movies. It's just not everyone's cut out to be a Nazi, you know? Like, this is just the saddest thing to see all this shit.
That thing is ugly.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
To me, that's the worst thing. Like,
nope.
Remember her? Fucking get eaten by that thing, man. Yep.
Look at those spiders.
Dumbledore's brother, I love it. That's where the very first years they came up through there in the boats.
You have performed extraordinary magic with this wand, my lord.
I am extraordinary, but the one resists me.
When the boy comes, it will not fail you, I'm sure. It answers to you.
Does it? You're a clever man, Severus. I am not its true master. The Elder Wand belongs to the wizard who killed its last owner. You killed Dumbledore, Severus. The Elder Wand cannot truly be mine.
My lord.
Nagini, kill.
He's dead.
Take them. Take them. Look at me.
Look at me.
You have your mother's eyes.
You have fought valiantly, but in vain. I do not wish this. Every drop of magical blood spilled is a terrible waste. Harry Potter, you have allowed your friends to die for you rather than face me yourself.
Can live with that.
I shall kill every last man, woman, and child who tries to conceal you from me.
How would you? I mean, could you live with that shit?
It's the alternative to do things on his terms, right? Like,
I don't know. The idea of just people dying for me, like.
Harry.
No, man. Come on.
That's the shit like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I could live with that, dude.
Do you remember the last shot of Tonks and Lupin? They were like they were reaching out for each other.
Freak! I'm gonna tell Mummy. You're a freak! You're a freak, Lily!
Petunia, Dursley, and young Lily.
And you're special.
That's me, Sevens. Hi, I'm Lily.
Just like your father.
Don't say a word against my father.
The prophecy did not refer to a woman. He intends to hunt them down now, to kill them. Hide her. Hide them all, I beg you. What will you give me in exchange, Severus? Anything.
Harry, Mama loves you.
You were to keep her safe.
Lily and James put their faith in the wrong person, Severus. The boy survives.
Doesn't need protection. The Dark Lord is gone.
The Dark Lord will return. If you truly loved her.
No one can know.
But I should never reveal the best of you, Severus. We both know Lord Voldemort has ordered the Malfoy boy to murder me. One should presume the Dark Lord will turn to you. You must be the one to kill me, Severus. There will come a time when Harry Potter must be told something. On the night Lord Voldemort went to Godric's Hollow to kill Harry, the curse rebounded. A part of Voldemort lives inside him.
Boy must die.
Yes.
What? Dude.
You've kept him alive so that he can die at the proper moment. You've been raising him like a pig for slaughter.
What is that? What does it look like?
Oh, the deer.
Yep.
Lily. After all this time.
Always. The boy must die.
Yes.
That was a mind fuck, wasn't it?
Jeez, oh man, dude. Imagine just getting all that information.
I mean, like, now when you watch these movies, everything fucking Snape does. See, we'll talk about it after, but yeah.
We thought you went to the forest. I'm going there now. Are you mad? You can't give yourself up to him. I think I've known for a while. And I think you have too.
I'll go with you.
No, kill the snake.
That's sad.
Kill the snake and then it's just him.
I couldn't look him in the face knowing that his brother died for me. I just couldn't do it.
Hope things brighten up, Shane. This movie's depressing me, man.
Remember, it kind of imprints. Yeah.
Why are you here?
We never left.
Does it hurt? Dying.
Quicker than falling asleep.
You're nearly there, son.
And Remus, your son.
One day, you'll understand.
You'll stay with me.
Until the end.
Stay close to me.
Always.
Always, as the Snape said too, you know.
I thought he would come.
Look at Bellatrix.
Even she kind of, you know.
Harry? No! What are you doing here?
Quiet!
Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come to die.
I like that in this little afterlife, he just has good vision, so he doesn't
I
need
was
his
gonna
glasses.
say he doesn't have his glasses.
You brave, brave man.
It's good to see him again, isn't it?
It is, man.
Professor, what is that?
Something beyond either of our hope. A part of Voldemort sent here to die.
It looks like King's Cross Station. Only cleaner.
I expect you now realize that you and Voldemort have been connected by something other than fate.
A part of him lives within me, doesn't it?
Did. It was just destroyed many moments ago by none other than Voldemort himself.
I have to go back, haven't I?
Oh, that's up to you.
I have a choice.
Oh, yes.
Voldemort has the Elder Wand, and the snake's still alive.
Yes. I've always prized myself on my ability to turn a phrase. Help will always be given at Hogwarts, Harry, to those who ask for it.
Professor, my mother's Patronus was a doe. That's the same as Professor Snape's. It's curious, don't you think?
Actually, if I think about it, it doesn't seem curious at all. I'll be going now, Harry.
I don't need your help.
He nodded yes. It's kind of a little hard to see, but yeah.
Dead.
What was that?
Who is that? Hagrid's carried.
Harry Potter is dead!
No! No!
Silence! From this day forth, you put your faith in me.
That's been a meme. Put your faith in me.
Harry Potter is dead! And now is the time. Come forward and join us, or die. Draco.
Draco. Come.
I was hoping he wasn't gonna go.
Well done, Draco.
But you remember with the mom? The mom lied, though, you know? Look at that. Like, he doesn't even know how to hug.
Well, I must say I'd hoped for better.
I'd like to say something.
Wish we did his hands. It's just.
Well, Neville, I'm sure we'd all be fascinated to hear what you have to say.
Doesn't matter that Harry's gone.
Stand down, Neville.
People die every day. So spread.
That's our brother Percy, who's. He's had a huge role in the books.
Tonks. They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. It's not over!
Look at that.
We have to kill the snake.
You'll leave this!
Out. So, yeah.
Those are such cool effects, dude.
Yeah, he's an expert duelist too.
Oh, dude.
Those things could fucking move. She blocked it.
She's like,
Not my daughter, you bitch!
Yep.
dude.
I killed Snape. But what if the one never belonged to Snape?
Come on, Tom. Let's finish this the way we started.
Together.
Oh. I'm shocked his glasses stayed on.
Yeah, for real, dude. What a shot.
Yeah, I know.
I sense we're about to see greatness from Neville. Yes!
Neville, man. Remember what Harry said about the wand?
Yeah. It's kind of an anticlimactic death for him.
What do you think should have happened?
Something violent, prolonged.
Well, he died the worst way possible for him. He lost a duel. You know what I mean? He's probably one of the greatest wizards ever lived. Percy. So Percy fought on the other side, actually, in the books. Like, he was with Umbridge and everything, too.
I love Filch so much.
Just sweeping.
Why didn't it work for him? The Elder Wand.
It answered to somebody else. The one never belonged to Snape. It was Draco who disarmed Dumbledore that night in the astronomy tower. From
Yeah.
that moment on, the wand answered him. Until the other night when I disarmed Draco. It's mine.
What should we do with it?
We?
Just saying, that's the Elder Wand.
It's crazy, dude.
Just wouldn't fucking stand there.
Uh-uh.
Together.
Oh.
Years haven't been kind to him.
Uh-uh.
What's funny is he's, like, still really handsome. Like, they all are, like, beautiful people for the most part still.
Bag? Yeah. Jumper? Let me see.
Ron. He actually looks kind of like that now.
What if I am put in Slytherin?
Albus Severus Potter. You were named after 2 headmasters of Hogwarts. One of them was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I've ever known.
But just say that I am.
Then Slytherin House will have gained a wonderful young wizard. The Sorting Hat takes your choice into account.
Ready?
Ready? Ready?
Ready.
I don't know if I'd just be going against the Sorting Hat, right? Like, I feel
Well,
like...
it did that with Harry. It took Harry kept saying, please not Slytherin, please not Slytherin. Okay. Full length. See you back at the YouTube channel. Guys, that was a reaction. This is our discussion.
I can't believe it's over. Like,
yeah,
it just feels like this magical journey. It just feels like it was yesterday we started.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's over.
So how'd you feel about this one?
This, I don't know if it was my favorite.
Yeah.
I really liked part 1.
Yeah. Part 1, I think it's that or the first one's my least favorite. But there's stuff, I mean, that being said, I love them all. It's like, you know, it's like, which one of your children do you love the most? Like, I do have some. But, you know, I love them all. You know what I mean?
This invoked the most emotion out of me, for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so how do you feel about freaking Snape, man?
I knew it, dude. I knew he was going to redeem himself somehow, some way. I knew he would.
What sucks is he kind of died, maybe not completely knowing if everything will come to fruition. He has been a deep covered double agent.
Yeah.
This whole time. And, you know, the relationship he had with Harry, obviously he's a spawn of the woman he loved and the man he hated. So it's contemptuous, but
right.
His love for Lily persisted this long that he still did everything he could for her and for her son.
Dude, that scene when he walked into the room and saw her
Fuck,
laying dead
it's
there.
like it's so fucking sad. And when he's holding her while, you know, little Harry Potter's back there crying, looking at them both, it's
awful.
Yeah,
there's a lot of death in this one. The body count racked up again.
Yeah, to me, Fred Weasley's death hits me the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like those two, like the light that they bring to these movies, the characters, and they're real twins in real life, and I guess it was really hard for the actors. So Fred's the one that died. George lives on, but you know, the guy playing George, to pretend and grieve over his dead brother, I guess was pretty emotionally traumatic for him, that he couldn't really do more than 1 or 2 takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's so fucking awful that they died.
Well,
and you know, because they're like the last ones you want to die. You know what I mean?
Look how many like random kids and professors and everything died.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and Tonks and Remus, you know, they have a son. Now, I did say during the reaction, because I'm an idiot, but that she was pregnant. But no, she was pregnant. They had the child. Child was a baby. I mean, this is just like Harry Potter. They would kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they died during the Wizarding War. They're just...
This is a very fitting conclusion to the series.
Yeah.
It's what I hoped and expected it would be.
Yeah.
And wow, yeah, it was awesome. Like, it's
the fighting, the emotion.
Yeah, man.
Well, they really hit you with that. They hit you with that. The death really hits you because you watch these first couple movies, like these fun, lighthearted kid movies, and then like, you know, it's probably Azkaban, where it just gets dark, and then we got the Goblet of Fire. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Order of the Phoenix. They just get dark. You know what I mean? They get dark. There's death. I mean, and I think that's why they're so great. And the kids watch this series. They grew up. You know what I mean? I think the first one came out when I was really young. I think I must have been like 7th or 8th grade. And then as these kids grew up watching them, and as the characters grew up in the movies, they kept making more, and then they became more mature. And I really love what J.K. did, how, you know, kind of using this, paralleling the Gestapo and the Nazis and like this terrible order, and kind of the books get into it more, but kind of like the intrigue. Obviously Malfoy being put in the position he was in, he didn't want to do that.
Right.
I think he thought it was cool, and then when he started having to kill people and see people get killed, I don't know if he really killed anyone actually, but he couldn't do it. And his parents realized, hey, you know, we're in over our head. So, I mean, Draco, they didn't have Draco during the last regime. You know what I mean?
You could tell, like I mentioned during the reaction too, that You could tell all this was wearing on Lucius. I mean, physically, he doesn't look.
Yeah, his eyes are all bloodshot, and he had that.
He's unkempt.
Yeah, unkempt, haggard look. Let me go through my notes here, and if you got anything to add, or if you want to interrupt with a similar note, just go ahead and do that. We opened with the grave, a free elf. I just thought that was a great touch. It's a good detail I like quite a bit.
Agreed.
I also love the detail that Griphook was the goblin that showed him in the first movie to his vault and all the money that his parents left him.
I also like the fact that he's dead now.
Me too. I love it.
He's a double-crossing goblin.
Yeah, he is a piece.
There's only one place for double-crossing goblin, Shane.
Goblin hell. Okay? Goblin hell. And it's probably worse than our hell, too, I'll tell you that. But yeah, the idea, they kind of gave you a little clue, but Bellatrix was given a fake sword to put in, and it was by Snape. Why would Snape do that? So they give you a little clue there that, okay, well, why would Snape do that? But, why would Snape do any of the things that he's done? So, I don't think it gives it away.
It doesn't give it away, but, I mean, you almost have to deduce that it was not for a nefarious reason.
Yeah.
Or that there has to be other intentions that he has.
Yeah, but the movie also moves at like a breakneck pace, where after that we're escaping Gringotts and we're riding a dragon out. I think the audience forgets, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even for being a split movie, part 1 and 2, like you said, they kind of furiously worked their way through this. I think it worked.
Yeah.
And there were times where it kind of maybe felt a little bit rushed to me, but it worked. And it's like, what is it, 2 hours and 10 minutes or so, and it flew by.
Yeah, I mean...
So we have folks in the studio here. We actually have a clock facing us against the wall there.
Uh-huh.
And when I glanced up and saw... Because you kind of know in your head, okay, the movie will be ending around such and such time.
Yeah.
And when I looked up and saw, like, dude, we only have like 10 minutes left, I couldn't believe it. It was just like...
Yeah.
Because the movie's pace just...
Yeah, it's pretty fast. It doesn't. Once it gets going past the beginning, it doesn't really take any breaks. Once you're out of Gringotts, it's kind of moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
I always love the detail of the goblins having magic, because they're very powerful creatures.
Yeah.
And house elves are extremely powerful creatures. I don't know what the most powerful creature is, but they have access to different kinds of magic. Now, Voldemort is him and Dumbledore are definitely the most powerful elves of this century. He obviously got pissed off and killed everyone in the bank. But the idea of the waterfall, the thief's downfall, that just washes away all enchantments, things that, when you're watching these kind of things, you're thinking, okay, I feel like everyone has tried every way to break into this bank.
Oh, sure.
So how, you figure they wouldn't be fooled by Polyjuice Potion. But that's obviously why Griphook was there. And the book gives kind of better details on how they evade certain security measures, right? And what do you think when they got inside and like the Gimino curse, we touch something, it starts to multiply?
That's crazy. It was really cool though. It was weird to me that goblins who are kind of in charge of the banking system and all that, Griphook was not at all phased, because like Harry's wealthy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care about gold. It means nothing to me.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of odd. Not that he couldn't get the sword also, but I'm just like, that it meant that gold means absolutely nothing to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know why. It probably says in a book, but goblins, they're the ones that, the goblins constructed the sword. And they're the ones that they're really good at making these magical artifacts and injecting magic into them. And I think the original rule was when a goblin makes something to you, actually, like when the owner dies, it's supposed to go back to the goblins. I think it's like their unwritten rule. But he wanted that sword. I mean, it's a popular sword, but yeah, he betrayed them, and he got, and then you saw the sword disappeared.
Yeah, he got his just desserts.
Yeah, the Gryffindor sword had disappeared until it needed to present itself to someone that needed it. And and then in this movie, it was Neville.
Neville, yeah. Neville to the rescue.
Neville had his big moment,
Yeah.
And if you remember, like, how was he in those first few movies? He was a coward.
Yep.
But he got sorted into the Gryffindor house, which is like, to be brave. It's like, why would he get sorted there? It's because he had a calling.
Yeah.
He had a calling, and I think the sorting house also they might place you Not just because of the qualities that you possess, but where it needs to place you for you to grow the most. So he grew into like a brave son of a bitch. I mean, he was the first one to go out there against Voldemort, talk shit, pulled out the sword. You know, he killed the snake. You know what I mean? He was very essential. Also, the stuff with Rowena Ravenclaw, which is...
she creeps me out.
Yeah. Wait a minute, her...
Oh, no.
The daughter
You
is...
mean Rowena.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Helena.
Yeah, Helena, the daughter of... Yeah, the daughter. So the daughter knew where the tiara was. And she... I thought she gave a good performance of, like, being kind of like this pretty girl who was like this distant and tortured, and then coming in with that intensity.
Yeah.
Because Tom Riddle tricked her ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's weird is once they make this discovery, I had a feeling that there was some little snippet in there that Harry would have to die. I don't know why I felt that way.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really surprised when they said it. I'm like, I kind of had a suspicion for a while.
Yeah, did you think he was going to come back to life?
No.
Oh, man.
No, but I'm thinking, like, Harry Potter can't, like, die.
It would be a hell of a thing, but I like what they did.
So a couple questions / comments that I have.
Yeah.
Unless I'm gravely overlooking something. How did Hagrid get caught?
I think he just got caught in the battle.
Because we don't really see him prior to that point in the movie at all.
Well, I think he just got caught in the first one then.
Okay.
Yeah, he just...
And I'm just not remembering. Okay.
Yeah. But what do you think of that, the Avada Kedavra, how he saw that and he went to turn himself in? Obviously, it requires bravery, which, I mean, he's a Gryffindor. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
But, he was given the Resurrection Stone, and he was able to commune with his mom, dad.
Sirius is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remus. And I just thought it was this, especially for kids watching this, like, how important it is. All the people that died for Harry, all the things that he's fighting for. There was the love spell that his mom cast is the reason why he lived.
Right.
And that expires when you're 17. I don't think it had anything to do with him living in this one. But the way I always understood it was, what wand was Voldemort using?
The older wand. Okay,
who's it actually belong to?
Well, we find out at the end that it actually belongs to Harry, technically.
Yeah, that's what he used.
Yeah.
What are the 3 Horcruxes?
The stone.
I'm not Horcruxes. I'm sorry. The 3 Deathly Hallows. Sorry. Yeah.
The stone.
Yeah, the Resurrection Stone.
Yeah, the cloak.
Yep.
And the wand, the elder wand.
Yeah, and he had possession of all 3. Like the wand, like the cloak belonged to him. I don't know if he had it in his pocket at that point. I think it's assumed that he does. The wand belonged to him. He just wasn't holding it. And the Resurrection Stone, he dropped in the woods, but like, essentially what do those 3 things give you when you have them?
Power over death.
Yeah, and I think individually they can as well. I mean, the cloak,
He's had the cloak for a while.
Yeah. So I wonder what J.K. Rowling was thinking about when he got that cloak in the origin. Because I think the idea is like there are invisibility cloaks in this world, but there's limitations, and that one is far more powerful. So I think his one is just really special. Ron recognized it. Oh, it's an invisibility cloak, or like I think he said those are rare. Yeah. So it's implied that they're out there. It in the books it is a little bit of a, like, when I read it the first time I had to kind of reread it. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So what's the deal with the wand? You know what I mean? I think it definitely makes sense, but I think when you're watching a movie, I think not. Like, I mean, having that question kind of pop up, at least for me, it kind of was like, wait, what?
Well, it escaped me until he explained it at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, which I'm really glad they did, because if not, I think people would be like, okay, it was cool, but what the fuck? Logically, how does it make sense?
Right.
I wonder what the rules are on disarming someone or killing a wizard. You know what I mean? Like, how does the wand shift its allegiance to you? Obviously it belonged to Harry, like in terms of its allegiance, but Voldemort had it. So, like, I understand. Like, I think you got to lose it in a duel or something like that. But, and obviously, it's been made aware throughout all the movies that the wand picks a wizard. They do have a will and an agency, and they have thoughts. It's kind of cool. What other stuff you got written down there?
Even though the parts were sparse with her, McGonagall's awesome.
McGonagall's great.
Very powerful.
She's a powerful wizard. She's an incredible woman. Did you see when her and Snape was fighting? What was Snape doing? Was he attacking back?
No, he was playing defense.
And he was kind of making sure that the spells don't deflect back at the kids. He was hitting behind them.
Yeah.
There's little things like that. And then when you watch the movies, so this is what I heard. So J.K. Rowling told one person in the world the big twist with Snape. She actually told Alan Rickman very early on, because she didn't write all the books yet, but she knew what she was going to do with him. So she told Alan Rickman. So he actually used that in his performances. So it wasn't one of those things, oh, okay, so you get the script for the last movie and this is what's going on. No, he always knew. So
I feel like that'd be helpful for him.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the process of how these things work normally. Like, normally they give you a script, they said, this is who your character is, and this is what you're supposed to be thinking when you do this. But now he knows, like, okay, this is what your character does, but he's in love with Harry's mom. He's never stopped loving her. You know, I mean, he was a bad guy once, but he's ultimately doing all this for Harry's mother and for Harry, because he's a part of her. And, you know, but he has that love-hate relationship, because also Harry reminds him of his school bully, everything he hated. I mean, that guy married the woman he loved.
Right.
They had a child. And that child is like, in Snape's eyes, like, I mean, he's obviously looking through the lens of like hating his dad. Like, he's arrogant, possesses no real talent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think it's just an incredible story. Like, when we got that flashback, I mean, I could tell how shocked you were, like, right when he died.
Yeah, I was like...
Really? So that's it, huh?
Yeah, he's just gonna die here, huh?
Yeah, it's like, well, good character, but he just died, yeah.
He's my favorite character, and he died.
Yeah, he's my favorite character in the movie, in the whole series. I mean, simply because, I mean, think about it, he's got the best story.
I agree.
I mean, the only thing you can say is, like, you know, he's put in the friend zone his whole life. You know what I mean? That's the only bad thing you can say about the man.
We've all been there.
Oh, of course. What did you think of Aberforth? Dumbledore's...
I liked him.
I liked him too. So there's more to that whole thing that's in the books. So, yeah, I'm 99% sure Dumbledore got in the duel and the sister died as a result of it. Like, she accidentally was collateral damage. Young Dumbledore was a hothead. There's, like I said, it gets into their backstory and the Fantastic Beasts movies. So those are prequels, but they don't start out as prequels. They start out as kind of like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's a book, a textbook that is used, that Harry Potter, that they use in the movies, that they use in the books. And it's like, okay, let's write a movie about that guy, that author. And then, like, it's a prequel. But then it starts to get into the whole Wizarding War. Yeah. Gotcha. So you start to see all that stuff. Like I said, I've only seen each one once. I thought they were good. I didn't love them, but they are good. And they're visually great. The most recent one, obviously, I haven't seen at all. But, yeah, maybe we'll go through those. Why not?
Yeah, no, it is one of those things where now that I know some of the things that I know,
yeah,
I think I could probably go back and watch through the movies again.
Yeah.
And those blanks will be filled in a lot.
Yeah, you have a perspective now. And think about even the very first Harry Potter, when Harry's wand, his broom, was being bewitched. And then they thought it was Snape. Snape was doing these counter curses, trying to protect him.
Right.
You know, we had in a pre-talk, I said, well, when Remus transformed into a werewolf, Snape got between them. There's little clues like that that make you think, okay, like, I'm very sure he's a good guy. But then, you know, obviously,
but you don't really know until...
he killed Dumbledore. It could have been like, then he kills Dumbledore. It's like, okay, like, it was just really deep cover. But no, he was like a double agent. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love it so much. Also in The Half-Blood Prince, there's a scene where Harry is walking up to the astronomy tower. And if you remember, you hear the very end of a conversation between Dumbledore and Snape. And then Snape said, has it ever occurred to you I don't want to do this anymore? Has it ever occurred to you that I don't want to do this? And then he said, and Dumbledore just basically said, whether it has or hasn't, Severus, it doesn't matter to me. You would do what you're told. Like, he made a deal. You know what I mean? Like, you love Lily. I won't tell anyone. You are going to be my man in deep cover. And you remember what he also said? Like, it's almost like Dumbledore uses certain things to motivate you. And some people even think that he almost manipulated Snape a little bit. He said, if you ever truly loved her, then you would do this. You would protect the boy.
It's kind of the impression I got a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was justified, but yeah, I kind of felt that way, I think.
Yeah. And then he said, no one can ever know. And like one of my favorite lines in this, no one can ever know. And he says, know that he said I can never reveal the best of you, Severus. Like the best of him is a one that loved someone and was willing to die for her, and everyone, like, protected Harry.
The only people that what people see of Snape, is this like crude,
cold,
distant, uncaring, unloving.
Yeah, then you think in like and they set it up in the books and in the last movies for you that he was picked on by the Gryffindors and Harry's dad. Okay, like he was picked on like that. I get it. Okay.
Oh, so, that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, why would he help them? Like, oh, it's because he loved one of them.
Right.
So the 7 secret passages to Hogwarts, I'm aware of like one, which is like in the candy store. I don't really remember the other ones, but there were 7 and they were all covered,
all sealed off.
And then they made another one from Aberforth's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Aberforth in the book, you know, like there's just more of him and there's more of the backstory of how well did you really know Albus Dumbledore? Not very well because of this and that. Like that's why Ariana died. So it gets into all of that.
I was thinking that scene was going to go a lot further and they were going to reveal something like super nefarious about Dumbledore. That
No, it just revealed kind of that he wasn't quite perfect and there's more to his backstory. And I think as far as the movie's concerned, that's all you really need to know. The book goes into a lot more. And he's never like this terrible guy, but there was a point for a while where he was a young person. He was a rebel. Like, you know what I mean? He was never practicing evil dark magic. But he ran with some rough crowds. And that's pretty clear in the book that he ran with a really rough wizard. He ran with Grindelwald. They were very close. They had a very close relationship, that's all I'll say. And then Grindelwald does turn bad. And Goyle. He had that spell that went wrong.
Yeah, it actually ends up being his own spell, technically, that kills him, isn't it?
He falls backwards and is incinerated to death. Yeah, it's weird because like it kind of happened quickly. I can't remember what happens in the books, but yeah, I mean, he as a Death Eater, I think he maybe had access to like new magic that he wasn't exposed to at Hogwarts, and I think he just hasn't mastered it.
He's a cool character, but I'm not sad to see him go.
Yeah, his fat ass just died in that fire. I'm just fuck him, you know. That's what I say. But Malfoy, you know, the 2 movies previous to this. Tom Felton gave some of the best performances in all these movies. Yeah. As like this, you know, this kid who is obviously forced to be in a situation and is eating him alive. Especially the Half-Blood Prince. He was just kind of born into the wrong family, and he went left when he should have went right a few times, and then you wind up on the Death Eater side thinking, well, shit, I like making fun of Potter and I like wearing black, but I was raised to be this way, but I don't think I like killing people. You know what I mean? He chose to not tell his aunt that this is Harry Potter. He said, you knew it was me. Why didn't you tell him? Remember them in the room of requirement?
Yeah, and I mean, his dad's a dirtball, so...
Yeah, his dad's a dirtball and everything else, yeah. Snape's tears in the pensive to me, that revelation to me is one of the best twists in any book I've read ever. I mean, like, it's one of those things where I thought, okay. I mean, after I thought he turned evil, I thought he was gone, but he could just redeem himself. You know what I mean? He could just, like, in the end choose, like Vader did. Like, okay, I will choose to do the good thing after doing all these bad things.
That's where I thought it was.
But in reality, it was all a plan.
Yeah.
He was never evil. He was always in control. I mean, there are things that happened that he had to, like, he probably didn't expect Harry Potter to come and he got kicked out of Hogwarts and he had to run. But, you know, so he had to make some audibles, you know, like mid-play. But, it was just always part of the plan, and to me, that was just one of the best twists ever. I didn't see it coming. I remember reading the book just fucking, and being in tears, like all that shit that went down, and he's just fucking holding, Lily and everything.
Well, that's why in the pre-talk, I was like, you know, I just feel like there's a way he's going to redeem himself, and that's what I was thinking, was that it was just going to be this, he would actively do something to alter the course, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was just he was always there. He was always on point and always fighting for the good guys.
Right.
And to the point where people hated him and he had to do things. He had to be in that school, and you got to remember they talked about doing the Cruciatus curse to like the first years, like he had to be in charge of all that. He had to let all kinds of shit go on that he didn't agree with.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say, like, because you remember, he did join the Death Eaters. So I wouldn't say he was always like, you know, at one time he was a piece of shit. And he probably did piece of shit things. And I don't know if he turned good because he realized, okay, I don't want to keep doing this. He turned good because he still loved Lily. And he wanted to protect them. And he ultimately wanted to protect her. So it just like the love of Vader's son, turned him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fantastic.
It's not what I was expecting with Snape at all.
Yeah. And I can't get over George passing away.
Yeah.
Just the way it all goes down, because you don't always see it. There's a point where he's fighting a Death Eater. Sorry, God, we might have to try to do some of these flies. There's a point where he's fighting a Death Eater, and it's right before Voldemort does his little thing where he gets in everyone's head.
You don't actually see him get killed.
Yeah, you see him get disarmed, but everyone stopped at that point. But in the next scene, he's dead. So I can imagine the guy just finished the job or something.
Right.
And then just seeing everyone, I don't know, I just couldn't imagine that happening. My dad had 2 brothers that died. One died young, like 5 years old, died painfully. And I think it stuck with that whole family forever. He died of this terrible stomach bug. I mean, this is, in the 60s or the 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it happened. And then he had a brother. It was his closest brother died when his brother was 24. He was actually going to be in the CIA. No, 25. He was going to be in the CIA, and he was coming home for Christmas. He got hit by a drunk driver. And then, everyone, that's just so weird to think about. Like my dad going through that shit.
Twice.
Yeah. But just, I've never had I'm fortunate enough that in my 36 years, I haven't had that really sudden kind of unexpected death of someone. Like my grandma and grandpa passed away. It sucked, but they were old. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I know that it seemed like that scene was particularly troublesome for you, where you're like, I don't know if I could live with myself knowing all those people died for me.
Yeah, I mean, and then after that, there was, like, you get to keep going on living, and then you're just kind of walking around normal, like 10 years from now, and you think, oh, yeah, my brother died for you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think I could get out of my head. I mean, yeah, it'd just be weird. How did you feel about the little 19 years later thing?
I mean, it was a nice little touch. It was kind of cool to see. I personally didn't really need it.
I liked it because she wanted to put, like, okay, like, this is the end. Like, there's, at least for their lives, there is peace, and they send their kids to school, and, they get married, they have kids, they're happy.
It'd been cool to see Hogwarts rebuilt.
Yeah, what I really liked is he named one of his sons after Severus. He's the bravest man I ever met. And I just love the honor that they gave that character, and the honor that Harry gave him. So there is actually a sequel to this. It's called, I think it's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It's actually about, I didn't read it. All I know is it was written as a play, and a play was critically acclaimed. It was only ever written in play form. So there's not like a novelized version of it. I hope she does that one day. But it's about Albus, his son Albus, Severus Potter, and Draco Malfoy's son becoming friends. And that's the story. That's all I know about it. And they do some crazy shit. And they use like the time thing that Hermione had.
Yeah.
And I think they go back and try to do stuff. Yeah. I'm glad we watched this together, man.
I appreciate you taking me through it, dude.
We'll check out the other ones, and we'll react to the series when that comes on HBO. It might be a year or two.
Maybe, like you said, maybe stream a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy.
I would love to stream Hogwarts Legacy, and if we're not streaming, maybe just record a couple hours of gameplay, because I have it. I'm a few hours into the game, but Final Fantasy VII came out, so I stopped playing. You know what I mean? And I barely ever get to play Final Fantasy VII, so it might be a year or so before I even pick up Hogwarts Legacy again. But yeah, man, so just, guys, leave a comment down below if you want to support us. Make sure you check out our Patreon for more movies that we're doing. We're out of here, guys. Much love.